Hi, me and my dad have teamed up to show you how to solve a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. I did all the solving and he's doing all the talking. Here he is.
Hello there. We're going to show you how to turn this into this, using a little common sense and a few basic algorithms that you'll have to follow. First things first, you'll have to learn a few basic things about the Rubik's Cube in order to learn how to solve it and how to follow along. I'm sure you already understand that it has 6 sides. We'll refer to them as the front, the top, the right, the bottom, the left, and the back. There are also 3 different types of pieces on the Rubik's Cube. There are the corner pieces, the edge pieces, and the center piece. We'll be referring to these throughout the video, so make sure to understand what they are. Okay, so let's mix this thing up a little bit more to make sure it's nice and jumbled. That should do it. I think we're ready to start solving now. Alright, now for step 1, we're going to create a white cross to match on the white centerpiece. So the first thing we're going to do is find one of the white edges. Here's the white and red edge. We're going to move that so that the red matches with its red centerpiece. We turn it so that the white matches with its centerpiece. Now we've got white and red and red. Then we're going to find another white edge piece. So here's the white and orange edge piece. We're going to turn it so that we get orange to match with orange. There's the white. Now we're going to rotate it up so that white matches with white and orange matches with orange. Find our next piece. Here's the green and white edge piece. Again, we're going to turn it so that the greens match up, and then turn it so that the white matches up. And now we've got white and green. And make sure while you're doing this that you keep the other colors in the right spot. See, the orange and red are still in the right places. Here's the last edge piece. It's the white and blue edge piece. Again, you're going to move that so that you get the blue with its blue center, and then turn it up so that you now have all 4 white edges in their proper spots. Blue matching with blue, orange with orange, green with green, and red with red. It's important to note here that this is kind of an intuitive step, and it will just take time and practice to get these in their proper spots. Okay, now to step 2. In step 2, we're going to go from a white cross to a full white face by solving the 4 white corners. When we do this, we want to make sure that the other colors that correspond to that white corner also match up. We're going to pause the video here for a moment to explain something. You can see all 4 white corners here in this view. The one that's in the middle of the screen, the white, red, and green corner, is the easiest one to solve at this point. The one that's in the top left and the 2 that are on the bottom are not as easy. So we're going to start with this red, green, and white corner and go from there. Here's the corner we're going to solve. We're going to move it to the corner where the middle colors match the color on the corner we're solving, like this. Notice the corner piece has red and green on it, and the middle pieces are also red and green. It doesn't matter that the red on the corner piece isn't on the same side as the red middle piece, as long as the corner is in the right spot. After it's in the right spot, you're going to rotate the bottom 90 degrees so that the corner piece is out of the way for a moment. You then rotate the side where the corner piece is supposed to end up so that you can move the corner piece back in place and rotate the side back to where it was. You've now put one corner piece in its correct location. You'll do the same for the remaining corner pieces. So now let's find the next corner piece. Again, we want to find one that is down on the 3rd row, not the 1st row, and not on the bottom face. Here's the green and orange corner, and we can follow the same steps as before by putting it into the corner where it matches the middle colors, then rotate the bottom 90 degrees, rotate the side to where the corner is supposed to end up, then rotate the corner back to where it was, and the side back up so that the whites are back on top, and the corner colors match their middle colors. You're going to follow the same basic steps we just showed you to solve the last 2 corners. Make sure to start with a white corner that's on the 3rd row and not on the bottom face. You may accidentally get a corner in the wrong spot like we did here. See how the orange and blue don't match up with their middle pieces? So just move it back down and rotate it to the correct corner to fix it. Now you can see that it's in the right spot because the blues match up with blue and orange matches up with orange. Solve the last white corner the same way we did the first, and you'll now see that the entire first row are all solved as well as the white face. Congratulations on getting this far. Now in step 3, we're going to solve the entire second row. We're going to get orange with orange, blue with blue, and red with red, and so on. It's important at this phase to start paying attention to what face you're working on, as we described at the beginning. We're going to put the yellow side, meaning the face with the yellow middle piece, at the top. We're going to be working with the edge pieces on the top face. You need to find an edge piece that doesn't have yellow on it, such as this blue and orange piece. This yellow and green piece won't work, so we'll start with the blue and orange piece. Notice that blue is on the top and orange on the front. Move the piece so that orange is with its middle color. The orange side is now your front and must stay in front during these next manipulations. Next, find where the blue middle face is. Depending on whether it's on the right or left side will affect your next move. We are now going to be using algorithms, which simply means that you have to do certain steps by following the given instructions. The instructions are given using symbols that you will see in the upper left corner of the screen. These symbols refer to the face that you're supposed to rotate 90 degrees. Since you can rotate the face clockwise or counterclockwise, we will use a tick mark, which looks like an apostrophe, to indicate a counterclockwise rotation. If there is no tick mark, then rotate it clockwise. Note that the direction of rotation is as if you are looking directly at the face you're rotating. We'll move through this first one pretty slowly so you can see how to do it. Rotate top clockwise, right clockwise, top clockwise, right counterclockwise, top counterclockwise, front counterclockwise, top counterclockwise, and front clockwise. I have to apologize because in the middle of this move we turned the cube so that front was no longer front. Rest assured that if you keep the orange side at front, then these instructions work out. When you're done, check to make sure the bottom is still all white, and you'll know that you did it correctly. You're going to continue using the same basic algorithm until the entire second row is solved. Go back to the top face and find another edge piece with no yellow, like this blue and red piece. The only difference in the algorithm is due to which side the top color is on, left or right. Since this time it's on the left, we'll follow a slightly different algorithm. Rotate the top counterclockwise, left counterclockwise, top counterclockwise, left clockwise, top clockwise, front clockwise, top clockwise, and front counterclockwise. You'll notice that the middle row is getting closer to being solved. Keep checking the white bottom face to make sure it's still intact. Next, look for another top edge piece without yellow and solve it the same way as before. Now that we've done these moves with both left and right sides, you can continue until the second row is completely solved. We're now solving the orange and green edge using the algorithm in the upper left corner just as the previous moves. We now have only one edge left to solve, which is the red and green edge. I'm going to pause here for a moment to explain a problem that might happen while you're on this step. Sometimes the edge you're trying to solve is in the right place, but it's backwards, like this. First of all, don't worry if this happens unless you have no other non-yellow edges on the top to work with. If you see that there are no more non-yellow edges on top, but the entire second row isn't solved yet, you'll definitely find a piece that's like this one. If you do, no problem. Simply use the same algorithm as before to get it to the top, then solve as usual. Since there are two different algorithms during this step, you'll need to make sure you use the correct one. If the piece is on the left side of the face you're working, use the algorithm that starts with T prime. If it's on the right, use the one that starts with T. We didn't happen to run into this problem this time, so we'll go ahead and solve the last piece as we've already shown you. Now we've got the entire second row solved. Great job! Congratulations getting this far! You've now solved 2/3 of the cube. In step 4, we're going to start solving the yellow face by getting a yellow cross. There are certain orientations that will make solving the yellow cross faster. If you happen to have part of the yellow cross already solved, as we do here, then orient the cube with one of the yellow edges at the top. If you have one, then orient another edge on the left side as we have here. Sometimes you'll have these and sometimes you won't. If you don't, then these next moves will still work. You may just have to do them multiple times. Okay, make sure the yellow faces top and the yellow edge is at the back. Then follow the algorithm in the upper left corner. Front clockwise, top clockwise, right clockwise, top counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, and front counterclockwise. You'll see that the yellow cross solved after the first time, as well as one of the yellow corners. If it didn't solve yet, keep doing the same algorithm until it does solve. In step 5, we're going to complete the yellow face. If you have one or more yellow corners solved, put one in the lower left corner, then follow the algorithm. Right clockwise, top clockwise, right counterclockwise, top clockwise, right clockwise, top clockwise times 2, and right counterclockwise. Make sure to have a yellow corner in the lower left or it won't work. Use the same algorithm one more time, and you see that the entire yellow is now solved. In step 6, we're going to use an algorithm to completely solve the cube except for the middle edge piece for each color. You'll need to look around the cube at the top row to see which row has the most of a single color. On our cube, it's this row, with 2 greens and a red in the middle. You may have a row with all 3 pieces the same color, which is the best case, or a row with only 2 colors the same but next to each other instead of separated by another color. This is the worst case. No matter what you have, you want to rotate that row to match its colored face, like this. Here's the example of 2 colors next to each other, which is the worst case. If this was the best you had, you'd move this to the blue side. For this algorithm, you'll want to orient your cube so that the side with the most solved face is at the back. Now, right counterclockwise, front clockwise, right counterclockwise again, back times 2, right clockwise, front counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, back times 2 again, and right times 2. Then rotate the top row again to match as many colors as possible, like this. You'll likely have all colors matching at this point except for the middle top piece. If that's not the case, start at the beginning of step 6 and do it again until you do. You should be pretty excited at this point because you've almost solved your Rubik's Cube. That's what we're going to do in this last step, step 7. If you look at your cube, you'll see that on the top row you have either 3 incorrect middle pieces or 4. If all 4 are incorrect, then the orientation of the cube during this step doesn't matter. But if one of the middles is correct, then put that at the back. Now, follow this last algorithm. Front times 2, top counterclockwise, left clockwise, right counterclockwise, front times 2 again, left counterclockwise, right clockwise, top counterclockwise, and front times 2 again. Now you'll see that we still have some incorrect middle pieces, but the green side is all complete, so we'll make that our back side. Continue to do the same algorithm 1 or 2 more times until the cube is solved. We just had to do it 1 more time to complete the cube, and now you can see that it's completely finished. Congratulations, and give yourself a huge pat on the back.
What's up guys, thanks for watching this video on how to solve a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. This is a video that my dad and I created. I was the one solving the cube, and my dad did the voiceover for the instructions. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, and I'll see you guys later.